Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and I'm sharing a spread that I've done using my new Shine release from Funky Fossil. So this is a stencil called Astra, and it's a kind of a profile of a face that's looking upwards. So that is why the features are a little bit higher on the stencil than you might expect if it was a straight on image. So I'm just drawing through the stencil just to get a rough idea of where the features are going to be placed, and then I am using some Neocolor 2s and scribble sticks, and I'm just going to add some colour onto the face using a water brush. So if you were using the stencil and you drew through it like this and decided you didn't quite like where the features were, like the mouth and the nose, you could just quite easily alter the placement of them on the face. But like I say, this is meant to be a face that's sort of looking up, because this is a sort of celestial, starry release, and I felt that it would be kind of nice to have a face that was looking up, as if it was looking up at the stars. So I'm just starting off with a bit of colour, and then I'm going in with a little bit of shadow. The great thing about working in the white journal is that it's kind of like watercolour paper in there, so you can treat the Neocolor 2s as if they were like a watercolour. So I'm just going in and just adding a little bit of shadow on the face, and just putting it where the darkest places would be. I'm not looking for a completely accurate placement here. I'm just going roughly with where I think that would be. So just watering down the colours so that they're not too dark to start off with, and then just building up the layers of shadow as I go along. I find this is a much easier way to work, just to start off quite light and then go in a little bit darker as you're going along. And you notice I'm just using a piece of kitchen paper and just lifting some of the pigment off when I've gone in a little bit heavy. Then I'm just adding a bit of colour to the lips. And a little bit onto the cheeks as well. So then I've given that a good dry, and you can see the colours have faded a little bit once they're dry too. So next I'm using some acrylic paint, and this is Orchid from Dina Wakley Media, and I've watered it down a little bit, and I'm just going to be adding that colour onto the hair, going for quite a funky hair colour. And this orchid is one of my favourites too. So then once that first layer was dry, I've just gone in with a slightly less watery version of the same colour, and just to bring in some little areas of slightly darker colour to the hair. So this page was given a really good dry, and then I am using a really lovely pen. It's a Pilot G-Tech C4 pen. It's quite a thin nib, so this is quite nice for starting to draw in the start of the features where they are on my face. And obviously I'm using the guidelines from the stencil that I drew through to start off with. So now I'm quite happy with where they are. I'm deciding to bring in a little bit of lighter colours, some sort of highlights, ideas of highlights into the hair, looking at where those lines are on the stencil, and just pulling those lighter colours through. I am using, I'm pretty sure that's still orchid, but just with a bit of white mixed in with it, just so that the colours play nicely together, because it's a tone on tone really, isn't it? It's like we've made like a slightly lighter cut version of the same colour. And that's a great way to get your colours to play lovely together. So in the new release, there is this pack of collage papers. There's quite a variety in there, from sort of sunset colours to dark sky colours, bright sunshine. There's words and images you can cut out. There are circles. There's so much choice in there. There's black and white ones as well. There's lots of variety of things that you can use that kind of work with the rest of the release. So I've grabbed a piece of collage paper and I'm going to use this to put through the centre of my page. One of the things that I love about these collage papers is that they are so versatile. You can kind of cut them up, you can use them for little collage clusters, and also you can stick them onto your page and then you can add paint over the top of them. So here I am going in with a piece of collage paper and I am just looking underneath to kind of work out where the size of the head goes, because I kind of want to roughly make it fit around the face as much as I can, like that. And then that's going to be stuck in place. I'm just putting the centre foldings and that helps it to kind of settle in a bit more once you've put some glue on. So I'm using a glue stick to stick this in place. This is, I get asked lots about this. This is a Pritt stick. If you're in the UK, you'll know about these. I don't know whether you can get these in the US, but it's very similar to like a Yoo-hoo stick. But yeah, it's like anything like that really. And if I'm using it on a page where my cardstock is a little bit heavier, then I would probably use some double-sided tape as well. So this stencil is one of my favourites. I don't know what this one's called, but I think I'm going to call it Only in the Darkness. And it's got really lovely text on. It's got lots of positive affirmations about stars and the dark. And yeah, so it's great for adding in those little bits of background text. It works really well for that. So I am using, I think that looks like a bit of mineral there, and I've just added some stenciling which goes over the collage and onto the page as well. And then this is my little stamp that comes with the release as well. This is called Paper Stars. So if you remember the previous release, there was Paper Hearts. It's kind of in the same theme as that, really. So I'm just using some black archival ink. I'm going to stamp this onto some white printer paper, and then I'm going to cut some stars out and just use those to add on as little collage elements onto my page. So I've got those kind of arranged where I want them to be, and then I'm just going to pop those onto my page using a glue stick. So these are great for just adding a little pop of white onto that very dark collage paper. I think I might have also gone in and added some splatters as well. I'm not sure. I may well have edited that bit out. But yeah, you can see now I've kind of made the collage paper feel a bit more like it belongs by bringing different elements on top of it and overlapping. It just helps it all feel like it fits together. And then I'm just outlining a little bit more on the edges of the hair and the face, going in with the same pen that I used before, so it is quite a fine nib on there, so I can do sort of quite nice loose sketchy lines. And I do find definitely you can get a really nice look to your images if you do your lines more than once. You get that kind of intentional loose arty look, and I really like the way that that looks. So this is my starry stamp. It's a mini mark stamp, a bit like my dotty stamp. And this one is obviously, it's got stars on it. So yes, this is great for adding those last minute sort of touches to a page. And I think because this one's got a bit of a star theme, it works quite well. It doesn't mean I won't still be using my dotty stamp though. And then I have grabbed a quote from the Stargazer stamp set. Which I'm then stamping that onto some white paper. And I've gone for the white because it's going to be a lovely contrast on the black, very, very black and dark collage paper that's on my page. And I'm going to stick that in the centre there, in that space, you can see. And that's how I kind of pulled this page together. So I've got lots and lots and lots more ideas of things to do with this new release, and it does work really nicely with the old releases too. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this page. Yeah, definitely come back again to see more ideas with the new Shine release from Funky Fossil. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.